Welcome to the D Squad's Get Fit Now series.
Take it easy.
I'm your friendly neighborhood fitness man. Today we're going to be talking about core strength for beginners. Right now, core strength is probably one of the most important issues we're going to be covering on your fitness journey. So this is no light matter. Core, synonymous with heart, key, and vital, is no light matter. So you might be saying, well, oh my goodness, this is great. This is fantastic. Now, how is it possible that these things could have been overlooked? I mean, I work out. I'm semi-conscious about my health and fitness and wellness, and how could I have not been focusing on my core all the time, being that it's this important to my progression? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It brings a movie to mind, The Kid with Bruce Willis. And in this movie, Bruce Willis has everything. I mean, life is good. He's got the money, he's got the job, he's got everything you could ever want. And then one day, this kid shows up at his doorstep. This kid was actually a child version of himself, when he was much younger, and was looking at his life and was saying, so he's got this kid in this sterile, perfect life that he had. He had his house, he had his money, he had all this stuff, didn't have a wife, didn't have a dog, didn't do anything for fun. And this kid showed up and reminded him about all of the things that he truly had in his core, that he cared about, things that he had desired from the time he was a little kid, that he had forgotten about in the middle of all of his adult pursuits. Does anybody know anything about that? We get caught up in doing our daily that we forget about the little things, like eating or sleeping, or spending some quality time doing something to improve the quality of our emotional health, our physical health, our mental health. So when these things are overlooked, that's when we get into trouble. So it's really important that we get in touch with that mental core, that part of ourselves that wants these things, that knows these things are important. You don't have to remind an 8-year-old child to eat. They want to eat all the time. That's something they know they've got to do. Adults, on the other hand, sometimes they don't really think about it. They lose sight of it because we get so focused on doing our daily adult things. You're going to focus on getting in touch with that child, that kid that's going to show up at your door tomorrow morning and, like if he showed up at my door, aside from being completely and utterly amazed that I am totally bald, he would say, well, Chris, we always, spend time with people we care about. You're not spending any time doing things that are just fun for no good reason. You're not spending any time eating things that are just for your pure pleasure. Now, not meaning that it tastes good, because this is where we want to get in touch with our true core. Our adult mind, there's a benefit to having an adult mind, and that is that we understand that there's going to be a tomorrow. Children are living for the moment all the time, right? But you can do something that you truly enjoy in the moment because you understand the value that it holds in the future, right? So you eating something today, that you can enjoy. You can say, I love it. I love it because of what it's going to make happen for me tomorrow. So I'm enjoying it now because of what it's going to produce for me tomorrow. All right, so now we've got our mental core. We've got that mental core process that we're going to put in place so that we can work towards understanding what it is we truly want. Now, the second thing, our physical core. Now, that's the part that we have endless amounts of information on the internet. All right, you can look up any kind of core exercise. There are hundreds of thousands of core exercises out there. I'm not even going to waste your time with telling you how to do a plank. Okay? Right? So you say, well, Chris, then what are we going to do? This is not just all mental process. There's a physical component here. What are you going to show me? What have I got to do? I'll tell you what you got to do. We're going to focus on the thing that you do most often. Now, if I'm training you in a gym and you're going to be working out for 45 minutes, but then 14 or 15 hours a day, you're not doing things that are aligning with what I had you do in those 45 minutes. How much success do you think you're going to have? Take a second, think about it. Go ahead. Yeah, I know. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to flip this thing around. All right, we're not going to come up with some other workout that you're only going to do for about 5 or 10 minutes a day. Meanwhile, there's something else that you're doing far more often. You're probably doing it right this second, and nobody's actually sat down and said, hey, you know what? You need to focus on this to try to improve your health and your well-being. And that thing is your posture. We are going to focus on improving your posture. You say, well, that's a big thing, right? Because you're doing this all the time. You're always how you sit, how you stand. When you are moving around, how do you move? How do you hold yourself, right? And we're going to talk about that in just one moment. Right? So your physical posture, I'm going to give you 3 things that you're going to have to do that you want to focus on. You want to be intent on thinking about them as often as you possibly can. If you need to set an alarm on your watch so that you think about it every hour or 2, then go ahead and do that. But what you're going to do with these 3 things. Number 1, what you're going to focus on, you're going to imagine as though you had a string, as ridiculous as it sounds, attached to the top of your head. Okay, now the beauty of having a string attached to the top of your head is that you can hang from it. I know, really, that's what I want to do in my spare time, is hang from a string on the top of my head. The point is that it causes you to hang naturally. You want to be in a neutral stance. And when you're holding yourself a certain kind of way, you're not neutral. Many times people overextend or they under, but when you're hanging, you're in the middle. All right. So what happens is when you're hanging from the top of your head, your shoulders and your hips are in their natural alignment. Okay. Now, the next thing I want you to focus on, number 2, is imagine an X taped across your back, starting from one shoulder and then attaching to the opposite hip, and then up from the other shoulder, attaching to the opposite hip. And then that's going to be where your shoulders align with your hips. Right now, I want you to focus on that as many times, as often as you need to throughout the day. So now you've got the string attaching. So now you have your head in line with your shoulders and your hips naturally, neutrally. So you're not overextending the way you see a lot of people do, or underextending. You want to be naturally in a neutral position, just hanging. Right? And then you say, well, where do my shoulders lie in that? All right, now that I'm neutral, all right, so then the X across your back is going to then keep your shoulders in proper alignment with your hips. A nice neutral position, right? The 3rd thing we're going to focus on is imagining that you're leaning back against a wall. Now, of course, your back is not flat. Okay, so there's going to be an arch in the middle of your back that's not going to be touching the wall. But that wall, if you're in proper natural alignment, the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and the back of your hips are going to be touching the wall slightly, right? If you're out of alignment in any one of those 3 ways, then if your head is tilting forward, right, then you're not in proper alignment. If your shoulders are rolled forward too far and your hips are still touching, then your shoulders and your hips shoulders and your head won't be touching the wall, and so you have to then correct yourself, put yourself back in that neutral position to where your head, your shoulders, and your hips are all touching the wall. Now, one of the things that I hear very often when I start talking to people about these kinds of things is, oh my goodness, you're kidding me, man. I think about this all the time. I'm telling you, my abs are starting to get sore. My shoulders are aching because I'm holding them away. Oh, it just feels so unnatural. It's just so strange. I feel tired. And I'm going to talk to you for a second about feelings, right? We may feel like something is really true, but it may not be. And let me give you an example. Right? One perfect example that, somebody had said to me once is that, you can be really, really tired. I mean, so dead dog tired that you're laying on the couch. You're too tired to get to the bedroom. You can't even get up to go to bed, right? You are just laying there thinking about, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. I think I could just stop breathing. I gotta go to sleep. And so you're laying there and thinking, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get to the bed? This couch is so uncomfortable, but I can't move. Right? And then in that moment where you think that you don't have any energy left in your body, there is nothing left inside of you. You have no more energy, no more power, no more oomph. A bear smashes through the double doors of your living room and comes stampeding into your living room. Right. Okay. So now you've got this bear in there. How do you think you feel now? Be honest. Did you tap into some secret reserve of energy that you had hidden under one of those couch cushions? No, it was there all along. You just needed the proper motivation. And that's kind of like what this is. Right? Now, the difference is, because you don't want to be led by fear and running for your life. Although running for your life can be a very invigorating experience, that's not how you want to, live your entire existence. Right? The way you want to live like in this situation, is more like Saturday morning cartoons. You can be dead dog tired on Saturday morning. It doesn't make any difference. The world could be coming to an end. Mom could be serving glazed donuts for breakfast. And you are not moving. There's nothing that's going to get you out of bed except Saturday morning cartoons. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Am I showing my age? I might be, but that's okay, because I don't even think kids watch TV anymore, especially on Saturdays. But anyway, what I am saying though is, when that show that you need to watch comes on, you are out of bed like a rocket, down the hall in front of the TV set watching that cartoon, right? And that's how you want to do this. This is the kind of approach you want to have. You want to be led to something rather than running from something. Okay, you want to be moving forward towards your goals rather than running away from things that you don't like. All right. So in this situation where there's going to be a little bit of physical discomfort because you may not be used to it, but that's okay, because that adult mind that you have understands what this holds for you in the future. You understand the true treasure that's in this, and you following through with this consistently. All right. So you understand now that you are going to then be doing these things. The mental first, the mental focus, finding your mental core, understanding what you truly want. All right? And there's a lot of power in that. Understanding that and getting in touch with yourself. Having that conversation, sitting down with yourself, your true self, not the self that's got stacks of bills, not the self that has learned how to, distract themselves with enormous amounts of food, and the true self that gets up on Saturday mornings for their favorite cartoon. That self, right? That person who has ideas and goals and dreams and sees the world without any boundaries and knows what it is that they want to do in that world, and they don't have any fear or any doubt or anything to keep them from doing that every single day. Okay, and then after you've established that mental core and you understand yourself and what it is you truly want, then we do the physical. Because, the physical is really just a manifestation of our internal, right? So whatever we have going on the inside is going to manifest on the outside. And what better way for that to manifest in our posture that we are going to be exhibiting everywhere we go, everything we do, how we sit, how we stand. If we're doing anything, we're washing dishes, we are mowing the lawn, we're doing whatever we're doing, we're going to be doing it driven by that mental focus that we've already achieved. That core purpose that we have is going to then manifest in our bodies and get our physical being erect, because we are then going to be conscious of that we're hanging from a string. I know, I wish we could think of something better, but the string is the only thing that we've got, and that works. Okay, so hanging from the string and get that neutral alignment, nice and easy, properly aligned. And our core is going to be what we hang every other fitness pursuit on in our physical being, right? Because without our core, there's nothing going on. There's no arms, there's no legs, there's nothing. Okay, so it's this posture, it's this attitude, it's this energy flowing through our body from top to bottom, bottom to top, that's going to give us the power to be able to accomplish everything else that we set out to do. Whether you're going to be squatting, whether you're going to be lunging, whether you're going to be doing planks or push-ups, you are going to have this unconscious, coming from a place in your center, in your core, that's going to be directing you and holding you straight so that you can get the most out of your time investment with all of the physical activity that you're going to be doing. Right now, I am so excited for you, right? Because in doing this, taking this action, attaching these mental core concepts to this physical core being that you have, now you're going to manifest something physical in the world, right? You're building your strength, right? You're realizing your power, and this is going to be where the transformation begins. Because once we've got our core, now we can get to the good stuff. Right? So what I want you to do as you go about your day, I want you to set up, if you need to, some people, they can just consciously do it, whatever. If you're not there though, if you're somebody who's sitting down, you have a sedentary job where you're in front of a computer or something like that, you may need to set an alarm. Don't be ashamed of that. Go ahead and do it. You might need to put a post-it on your computer saying, sit up straight, focus on the posture. hang from a string, put an X across your back, lean against a wall, right? These are the things you want to keep flowing through your mind so that your core becomes strong. All right, so I want you to remember, right? These principles that I'm sharing with you are really the beginning of how you're going to transform your life. These are the first of many physical goals you're going to accomplish because of your internal condition, right? The physical, many times it's easy for us to understand and control and manipulate the physical, but it's without making those internal changes that need to be made, it's going to be temporary, right? But now you're doing it differently. You're making the internal changes that you have to make to influence your physical production, all right? And I'm so excited for you. If you liked what it is that we shared today, then please like this video. And if you liked it and you felt that it might help somebody else who also has struggles with this kind of an issue, please share the video. Subscribe so that you can be made aware of all of the future videos that we have. And also, place a comment below. If there's anything that you would like us to do, anything that you would like us to share, any issues you'd like us to touch on as we're moving forward through your fitness progression. And that is our core for beginners. I'm sure it's probably not what you're used to hearing, but it is extremely effective because the thing that we do most often is the thing that we need to change. Changing this core concept, you're going to then engage in a different activity the majority of your day. It's going to produce radical results for you over an extended period of time. Okay? And always remember, the power to change is within us all. Find your power core, and I'll see you next time.
Take it easy.